Now to the story of a sea monster with 130 razor-sharp teeth, the biting force of a T-Rex, and a skull measuring 2 meters.
What is that? See it?
The world's oceans cover more than 360 million square kilometers, but only 5% of them have been explored. Nevertheless, unexplored parts of the ocean hold many secrets and mysteries that are still hidden in the deep. From ancient shipwrecks waiting to be discovered,
stories of ships stuffed with treasure from an era long ago rarely live up to the hype. But as Wendy Urquhart now reports, this true story about a Spanish galleon laden with real treasure is worth billions.
and underwater landscapes to more beautiful and bizarre sea creatures that we can imagine. However, something that people saw in the water during high tide scared even scientists. Join us as we uncover some of the most astonishing things discovered in water. Number 20. Bimin Road. On September 2nd, 1968, divers Joseph Manson Valentine, Jacques Mayol, and Robert Angove were exploring the ocean floor near the coast of North Bimini when they stumbled upon something unusual. They discovered what looked like a path made of many large stones arranged in a neat line. The divers were excited, thinking they had found something extraordinary. The path, now known as the Bimin Road, stretches for about 700 meters and is made up of large limestone blocks. The stones are so perfectly shaped and aligned that it seems as if someone had carefully chosen and carved them. This led some to believe that the path was built by humans. The Bimin Road has sparked a lot of debate and curiosity. One popular theory suggests that the Bimin Road might be the remains of the legendary lost city of Atlantis. According to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was a powerful civilization that existed around 11,000 years ago, which is around the same time the stones of the Bimin Road are thought to be from. Despite the intriguing connection, no one knows for sure if Atlantis was real or just a myth, and researchers are still searching for evidence of its existence. Adding to the mystery, archaeologists found a stone among the Bimin Road blocks with grooves that seem to be designed for connecting with other stones, as well as a long groove that could fit a tongue from another block. This made it even more intriguing. However, many geologists believe that the Bimin Road is a natural formation rather than a man-made structure. They think that the stone's arrangement might be a result of natural processes rather than human craftsmanship. Number 19. Ancient Roman Ship. In the summer of 2019, a team of underwater researchers from the University of Cyprus made an amazing discovery. They found the wreck of an ancient Roman ship near the coast of Cyprus. The leader of the expedition said that the ship was at least 2,000 years old. What's surprising is that even though it has been underwater for more than 2,000 years, the ship is still in great shape. The cargo on the ship was also preserved well. Near the wreck, the researchers found many jars called amphorae, which were made of ceramics or terracotta. These jars have a narrow neck and 2 handles. They were used to store things like olive oil, grain, and wine. The Department of Antiquities of Cyprus believes that the ship likely belonged to traders from Syria and Cilicia in the Mediterranean region. Underwater archaeologists often find ancient shipwrecks, but only a few are as well preserved and valuable as this one. Because the ship is in such good condition, scientists and historians can learn a lot about trade during the Roman Empire and how important Cyprus was as a trading port back then. Number 18. Methane Leak. In 2023, Swedish scientists made a surprising discovery, a huge methane leak at the deepest part of the Baltic Sea. Methane leaks are usually found in shallow coastal areas and aren't considered dangerous. However, this was the first time such a large amount of gas had been found in such a deep spot. The discovery happened during a trip led by researchers from Linnaeus University and Stockholm University. They were exploring the Landsort Deep, located about 30 kilometers from the Swedish coastal town of Nynäshamn, known as the deepest point in the Baltic Sea. The methane was leaking from a depth of about 400 meters, and the affected area covered roughly 20 square kilometers. Professor Marcelo Ketzer from Linnaeus University shared that the exact reason for this massive methane release is still a mystery. It might be related to the buildup of marine sediments caused by deep currents. Scientists are unsure what the consequences of this gas leak will be, as such a large amount of methane can be very dangerous. They are continuing their research to understand more about this unusual and possibly dangerous event. Number 17. The Spanish Galleon San Jose. In 2015, an astonishing discovery was made in the waters of Colombia. The Spanish galleon San Jose, a warship built in 1696 with 62 cannons, was found with the help of an underwater vehicle called the Remus 6000. San Jose played a significant role during the conflicts after the Spanish ruler Charles II died. Despite many similar ships in the Spanish Navy, the San Jose stood out because it was carrying incredibly valuable cargo when it sank. On the day of its tragic end, the ship was transporting a massive load of gold and silver, worth an estimated $15 billion today. After the rebellion ended, San Jose frequently sailed between Peru and Spain, moving various treasures. This made it a prime target for other warships. On the fateful day, the San Jose was attacked by 4 English warships off the coast of Cartagena, Mexico. In a desperate move to prevent the treasures from falling into enemy hands, the captain blew up the gunpowder storage on board. This tragic decision sent almost the entire crew and the valuable cargo to the bottom of the ocean. When the wreck was finally discovered, a fierce battle for ownership began. Colombia, Spain, and even the United States all laid claim to the treasures. The dispute dragged on for years. In 2019, the Supreme Court decided that no effort should be made to recover the galleon until it was clear which country the treasures rightfully belonged to. Number 16. Ghost shark. Ghost sharks are a unique type of fish that are not sharks, despite their name. They are part of a group called chimeras, which are cartilaginous fish. These fish are found deep in the ocean, usually at depths greater than 500 meters, around continental slopes and ocean ridges. This makes them very hard to find. Ghost sharks are among the oldest fish species that are still alive today. They are also known as ratfish because of their strange looks. Their large head makes up about a third of their total length, and they have a short snout, big green eyes, and a long, thin tail that looks like a needle. They also have wide pectoral fins, which may help them move over rocky ocean floors with a lot of bumps and uneven areas. In 2018, scientists discovered a ghost shark off the coast of Thailand at a depth of about 700 meters. This was the first time a ghost shark had been found in this region. The fish was 50 centimeters long and turned out to be a new species that wasn't previously known among the 53 known species of chimeras. Number 15. The Golden Sphere. The mysteries of the ocean never cease to surprise scientists. In 2023, a Canadian ocean scientist made a fascinating discovery during the Seascape Alaska 5 expedition. This mission aimed to explore the deep, dark waters of the Pacific Ocean near the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. With today's advanced technology, researchers can now investigate even the most unreachable parts of the ocean. For this expedition, the Canadian scientist used a special underwater robot. This robot had a camera and a grabber arm, which helped them find a peculiar object. It was shiny, golden, egg-shaped, and had a hole in the center, something scientists had never seen before. Curious about this mysterious object, the team decided to bring it to the surface. They carefully used the robot's grabber to detach the object from the seafloor and lift it. After examining it, the scientists thought it might be either the egg of an unknown deep-sea creature or a new type of ocean sponge. As of now, this shiny golden shell is the only one of its kind known to science. Without more examples, it's impossible to say for sure what it is. The mystery of the object remains unsolved. Number 14. The Ancient Roman Tablet. In 1974, near Tuscany, Italy, a fascinating discovery was made: the remains of an ancient Roman ship that had sunk in 130 BC. 15 years later, underwater archaeologists launched their first mission to explore the wreck. On board the sunken vessel, they uncovered many precious items, including a medical kit that turned out to be the oldest of its kind ever found. This medical kit was a wooden box filled with various tools and special sealed containers called pyxis. Inside this pyxis, they found 5 round tablets, each about 4 centimeters wide. Researchers analyzed these ancient pills to understand what they were made of and what they were used for. The tablets came in 2 types. The first type was made from natural ingredients like beeswax and pine resin, suggesting that they were rich in vitamins and minerals. Scientists think these tablets were used by sailors as dietary supplements to prevent diseases. The second type contained a lot of zinc, which, in ancient times, was believed to help with eye and skin health. This led scientists to believe that the zinc tablets might have been used to treat eye problems. The discovery of this ancient medical kit was extremely valuable, as it gave experts a glimpse into the kinds of medicines people used over 2,100 years ago. Number 13. Pink handfish. While exploring a sunken ship off the coast of southeastern Tasmania, underwater archaeologists came across a very unusual fish. This fish had fins that looked like legs, making it stand out from other sea creatures. The fish turned out to be a pink handfish, officially named Brachyopsilus dianthus. Discovered in 1947, this species is incredibly rare, with only a few sightings reported since then. Pink handfish are quite small, averaging about 8 centimeters in length. They have a flat, red body with bright spots of the same color. There are 4 species of handfish in Tasmania, but the pink handfish is unique because it doesn't have a swim bladder, which is a common feature in most fish that helps them float. Instead, pink handfish live on rocky sea bottoms. Their unusual fins are not great for long-distance swimming, but they are perfect for their hunting style. The fins function like hands, allowing the fish to sneak up on their prey and quickly grab it from hiding. Number 12. Jadeite artifacts. In 2012, archaeologists made a fascinating discovery in the Gulf of Mexico, specifically in the southern part of Veracruz state. They found strange artifacts with unusual shapes. Each object had a narrowing cylinder at its base, and above this base, there were 3 sides with indentations. On each side, there were 2 stacked rectangles with V-shaped cuts in their centers. The bottom of each rectangle had a jagged edge, and a narrow cone stuck out from the top of the item. Each artifact was about 8.6 centimeters long and made from speckled orange, brown, and white jadeite. For a long time, scientists struggled to figure out what these artifacts were and their purpose. Eventually, Professor Carl from the University of California proposed that these objects might have been used in Maya religious ceremonies. He suggested that they were tools for bloodletting rituals, a common practice during sacrifices. Furthermore, he believed that these artifacts could represent corn cobs, which had a sacred significance because corn was a major food source for the indigenous people of the region and was often linked to their gods. Archaeologists have dated these artifacts to the Middle Preclassic period of the Maya civilization, between 900 and 400 BC. What makes these jadeite corn cob artifacts so remarkable is that no other similar 3-dimensional Maya icons have been found before. Number 11. Stone ring. Near the coast of the Greek island of Zakynthos, tourists came across a puzzling object, a stone structure shaped like a ring with a hole in the middle. People began to think this find might be linked to ancient civilizations, so they reached out to archaeologists for help. Naturally, scientists were intrigued by the unusual appearance of the object, which didn't seem like something that could occur naturally. They also found round stones nearby that looked like they formed a path leading to the structure. To unravel the mystery, underwater archaeologists carried out a detailed investigation. The results revealed that the structure was not made by humans. Instead, scientists discovered that the circular formation was a product of natural processes, not human activity. It turned out that the unusual shape was created by sulfate-reducing bacteria living in sediment deposits underwater. These microbes thrived because of the large amounts of methane leaking through cracks in the seabed. Their activity changed the chemistry of the deposits, making it possible for magnesium-rich carbonate rocks, known as dolomites, to form. Over time, these dolomites shaped themselves into circular plates with hollow centers. Number 10. Underwater castle. Underwater photographer Tayson Salon put together his team and has been exploring different bodies of water for over 15 years. Recently, Salon's team set out on an exciting adventure to Lake Van, the biggest lake in Turkey. Researchers had been eager to investigate this lake for a long time because local legends spoke of ancient ruins hidden beneath its waters. When the divers explored the area where they thought the ruins might be, they indeed discovered what appeared to be an ancient structure. They named it the castle. According to Salon, this structure covers about 1 square kilometer, and some of its walls rise to 3 meters. The castle is well built and mostly constructed from large stones. What's particularly fascinating is that Salon's team found lion drawings on the castle walls. This suggests that the castle was probably built by the Urartian people, who lived in what is now Turkey around 3,000 years ago. Lions were a popular symbol among them. Lake Van has been around for more than 6,000 years and has grown larger and deeper over time. About 3,000 years ago, the area where the castle is now was dry land, but as the lake expanded, it eventually covered this region. The exact time when the stone structure sank below the lake's surface remains a mystery. Number 9. Garden of Gnomes. Some divers decided to explore the depths of a very deep lake. As they dived down, they noticed some unusual, colorful objects lying at the lake's bottom. As they swam closer, they realized there were garden gnomes. Although these aren't real gnomes, but decorative ones, their presence at the bottom of the lake is quite surprising. This is exactly what divers experience when they explore England's deepest lake, called wastewater. Located in the scenic Lake District of Cumbria, wastewater is about 80 meters deep. For years, this lake has attracted divers from around the world. However, the discovery of garden gnomes at the lake's bottom has drawn even more visitors. The sudden surge in divers was so significant that it caught the attention of local authorities. Concerned about the safety of inexperienced divers, the police decided to remove some of the garden gnomes from the lake. In response, many divers began bringing their gnome figurines and placing them in the lake. While the Gnome Garden has become a popular tourist attraction, it's important to remember that it's located at a depth of 48 meters. For those without much diving experience, this can be very risky. There have even been some tragic accidents involving divers in this area. Number 8. World War II Submarine. On May 2024, a submarine was found close to the coast of Okinawa, a Japanese island. After checking its details, it was identified as the American submarine USS Harder. This submarine, built in 1943, was part of the Gato class and played a key role for the U.S. against the Japanese Navy during World War II. It was commanded by Samuel Day, who earned the nickname Destroyer Killer. The USS Harder completed 6 combat missions. During its last mission in August 1944, it was involved in a battle near Luzon Island. Along with another submarine, it spotted 2 Japanese ships in Dassel Bay. The Harder fired 3 torpedoes before being sunk by a depth charge attack. At that time, there were 79 sailors on board, including Commander Samuel Day. For 80 years, the USS Harder rested deep in the South China Sea. Despite this long time underwater, the submarine was remarkably well preserved, which made it easy to identify when it was discovered. Number 7. The Saraso Sea. The Saraso Sea is one of the most unique parts of the ocean. It's not a sea in the usual sense because it's located right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Instead of being surrounded by land, its edges are marked by the ocean currents that swirl around it in a clockwise direction. This area covers about 7 million square kilometers and has an oval shape that moves slowly. It's situated between the Bermuda and Leeward Islands. In the Saraso Sea, the water is usually very calm due to the unusual flow of the currents in this area. However, this calmness has not stopped shipwrecks from occurring. Some ships have disappeared without a trace, like the famous ghost ship Mary Celeste and the merchant ship Rosalie. Sailors often share stories about ghost ships and sea monsters that are said to live in the Saraso Sea, giving it a mysterious and infamous reputation among seafarers. Number 6. Ancient Stone. In 2016, near the Israeli city of Haifa, in Haifa Bay, an extraordinary discovery was made, a stone tablet with ancient writings. This tablet tells the story of one of the most brutal periods in Israel's history. Scientists think that this tablet is just a small part of a much larger sculpture. It dates back over 1,800 years, and it's easy to figure out its age because the writings on it show that it was made during the time of Simon Bar Kokhba. He led a rebellion against the Roman Emperor Hadrian, who ruled over the Jewish people in the 2nd century AD. During this uprising, more than 580,000 Jews lost their lives. This artifact is incredibly important to both archaeologists and historians for two main reasons. First, it provides details about the Jewish uprising and the name of the leader who started this conflict, information that had not been found before. Second, the tablet repeatedly refers to the region as Judea. This is significant because during Hadrian's rule, the name Judea was removed from all official records, making it a rare find. Currently, scientists are working hard to fully understand the inscriptions on this stone. These writings could reveal many more details about the violence and upheaval that occurred in Israel during the 2nd century AD. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Under the golden light of the high-tide sun, Isla stumbled upon an old, half-buried chest while walking along the beach. With each crashing wave, the chest showed more of its detailed carvings, images of mythical creatures and star maps. Her heart raced as she pried it open, revealing a cloud of salt and a shining blue amulet at its center. The amulet, marked with strange symbols, began to glow with a soft, otherworldly light as she touched it. Suddenly, the sea surged, and a mysterious, whispering voice filled the air, speaking in an old language. The waves seemed to move around Isla, guiding her to the ocean's edge, where a hidden cave entrance appeared beneath the shimmering surface. With the amulet in hand, Isla entered the cave, where old murals showed a forgotten civilization that used the sea's power. The amulet was a key, she realized, unlocking the secrets of this lost world. What secrets do you think the amulet and the cave hold? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Number 5. SS Cotopaxi Ship. The Bermuda Triangle is known as one of the strangest places on Earth. Ships and planes often vanish without a trace when they enter this mysterious region. Scientists think this might be due to the area's unique features, such as the large number of underwater hills and frequent changes in the weather. One of the most famous disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle involved the coal ship SS Cotopaxi. On December 1, 1925, the ship set sail from South Carolina, heading towards Cuba with 32 people on board. When the Cotopaxi entered the Bermuda Triangle, the captain tried to send a distress signal, but it never got through. As a result, the ship and everyone on it vanished without a trace. This disappearance became one of the most well-known mysteries linked to the Bermuda Triangle. The SS Cotopaxi even made its way into popular culture. In Steven Spielberg's 1977 movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, there's a scene featuring the Cotopaxi, reflecting its lasting intrigue. Almost 95 years later, diver Al Perkins discovered the wreckage of the SS Cotopaxi. However, even this discovery did not reveal why the ship sank in the Bermuda Triangle. Number 4. Underwater Burial Site. In 2021, underwater archaeologists began exploring the ancient sunken city of Heraklion, which lies off the Mediterranean coast of Egypt. This city was believed to have been established around the 8th century BC. For several centuries, from the 6th to the 4th century BC, Heraklion thrived as a bustling metropolis. However, after the rise of Alexandria, Heraklion started to decline. By the 8th century AD, a powerful earthquake and tsunami caused the city to sink beneath the sea. While excavating the submerged ruins, archaeologists found an ancient shipwreck and a cemetery. The cemetery was uncovered while they were studying an underwater rise along the location of an old canal that ran through the city. Among the cemetery's remains, they discovered many sacrificial items made from Greek pottery. These artifacts helped scientists date the cemetery to the 4th century BC, which is even before the Ptolemaic era began. This discovery reveals that Heraklion was not just an Egyptian city, but also a vibrant center for Greek settlers. Greek merchants controlled the import and export of goods through the western branch of the Nile, and the city featured several sanctuaries dedicated to Greek gods. This finding demonstrates that Greeks not only lived in Egyptian cities, but also played a crucial role in trade and urban development. Number 3. Giant smokestacks. During a long trip off the coast of Ecuador, scientists made an incredible discovery. They found a whole network of hot springs. These springs are like clusters of old smokestacks spread out over about 600 meters of the ocean floor near the western edge of the underwater volcano, Los Hueros East. Some of these smokestacks are truly huge, rising to 15 meters above the seabed. The scientists were excited to find a rich and varied range of animal life around these hot springs. Among the creatures living around the springs, they discovered 15 new species that they had never seen before in this area. One of the interesting findings was the monoplacophorans, tiny mollusks that have hardly changed over millions of years of evolution. Hot springs are like underwater geysers created by shifting tectonic plates. Seawater seeps into cracks in the ocean floor, gets heated by magma from beneath the Earth's surface, and then gushes out through these springs along with various minerals. The water coming from these springs can reach temperatures of over 350 degrees Celsius, but it doesn't boil because the high pressure of the deep sea keeps it from turning into steam. Number 2. Yonaguni Monument. The ocean floor is full of hidden wonders, including strange and unexplored deep-sea creatures, as well as intriguing geological formations. One of these fascinating formations is the Yonaguni Monument. In 1986, a Japanese diver named Aratake was exploring the waters near Yonaguni Island, hoping to observe tiger sharks. Instead, he stumbled upon large stones with unusual shapes. These stones, with their flat rectangular terraces and unusual protrusions, looked like a multi-layered pyramid rather than a natural formation. Scientists quickly took an interest in this discovery, naming it the Yonaguni Monument. The true nature of this monument sparked much debate. Some scientists speculated that it might be a man-made structure that ended up underwater due to a natural disaster. However, most geologists believe it was formed by natural processes. Professor Masaki Kimura, an expert in marine geology and seismology, became fascinated by the Yonaguni Monument. He spent over a decade studying it and discovered various stone tools, images, and other artifacts around the site. Based on these findings, Professor Kimura concluded that the Yonaguni Monument was created by humans and was part of a large city from an ancient civilization that was submerged underwater. Despite Kimura's evidence supporting this theory, many scientists still argue that the Yonaguni Monument is a natural geological formation, possibly several 100 million years old, and classify it as a terraced formation. The debate continues, leaving the true origins of the Yonaguni Monument shrouded in mystery. Number 1. Antira Mechanism. The Antira Mechanism is one of the most intriguing and impressive artifacts ever found underwater. Scientists first encountered this mysterious object in 1901, when an ancient shipwreck was discovered at the bottom of the Ionian Sea, near the Greek island of Antira. A year later, the ship's remains, along with various artifacts, were brought up from the sea, including a peculiar stone with gears. At that time, scientists didn't recognize the significance of this object and largely ignored it because they didn't understand what it was or what it did. It wasn't until almost 50 years later that English historian Derek John de Sola Price began to investigate it. Using X-ray technology, Price discovered that the mechanism functioned as an ancient calendar. He also found that it could track the positions of the sun, moon, and other planets. This breakthrough sparked interest among other scientists, many of whom tried to recreate the device. The most notable success came from Michael Wright, a specialist in mechanisms, who confirmed Price's findings and added that the device could perform arithmetic calculations and account for the moon's elliptical orbit. In 2021, scientists made a remarkable advancement by creating a replica of the Antira mechanism that closely resembled the original. This was made possible by the discovery of 29 additional gears. We now understand that the mechanism was a wooden box containing 37 gears, along with dials, rims, concentric rings, and pointers. It was operated by a hand on the side. With this sophisticated device, ancient scientists could predict at least 42 astronomical events and perform various mathematical calculations. This makes the Antira Mechanism the oldest known analog computer, and it is over 2,100 years old. Which of these astonishing discoveries in water did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section.